Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, in our previous lecture of subject Science and Technology, we have studied the first part of Science and Technology, and the first lesson is gravitation. We have seen that what is gravitation, circular motion and centripetal force, and Kepler's first law. My dear students, man is so curious from the time of ancient period about the solar system. He wants to know what is solar system, and he wants to know other planets and stars. Due to this curiosity, various scientists gave their various types of laws according to the solar system. One of them is Kepler. Yesterday we have saw that Kepler's first law. From the ancient time, it was considered that our solar system is or circulate in the orbital or the round shape. But due to Kepler, we have know that our solar system is not in the round shape or the round orbitals; they are in the ellipse shape. What is ellipse? You have seen yesterday. According to first law, the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci. We know that what is ellipse, and ellipse has the two foci. According to the Kepler's law, our orbits of planet are in the ellipse shape, and our sun is at one of them, or one of two. One foci is of our sun. Next one is Kepler's second law. According to this law, the line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal areas in equal intervals of time. We know, students, that our planets rotate around the sun, and our second law is about that rotation. Due to rotation, our planets occupy various areas. Suppose it is our sun and A is our planet. Planet rotates around the sun from A to B and occupy about 4 kilometer area in 10 minutes. Then when we saw another distance, that is from C to D, the area that will also be 4 kilometer and time will be 10 minutes. So it is clear that according to Kepler's second law, that the line joining, that is the joining line of sun and our planet, the line joining, when it rotates, it occupies same area in the same time. That is our second law. Now next is Kepler's third law. What he say? In third law, Kepler says that the square of its period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of a planet from the sun. Dear students, you have studied that what is ellipse and its major axis and semi-axis. Here it is an ellipse and it is called the major axis, and half of this is called as semi-axis. So what is about our third law? That he says that the square of its period of revolution. What do you mean by period of revolution? So it is the period to rotate one round or one rotation around the sun. It is called as one rotation or revolution around the sun is directly proportional. Suppose R is the area or the period of revolution, and T is the period of revolution, and R is the average distance that is occupied by the revolution. It is directly proportional to the R cube. We know that what is square and what is cube. When we multiply by 2 times, it is called as square, and when we multiply 3 times one number, that is called as cube. So what is about the Kepler's third law? That is that t square is directly proportional to r cube. For constant, we can derive t square divided by r cube, and k is the Kepler's constant. So all these things are about the Kepler's law. We have to memorize that about these 3 laws, that our first law indicate or gives us the information about ellipse shape orbits, that they are not in the round shape, they are in the ellipse shape. Second law gives the information about time and area. It gives that equal time and equal area. Equal area is occupied by equal time. So why it is so? The reason behind it, that when our planet is so near about the sun, the gravitational force or force of attraction will be higher than as compared to the when it is away from the sun. So it will give us the same area in the same period. Our next and third law states that t square is directly proportional to r cube. It means time cube of time is directly proportional to cube of area. Okay, next topic is universal law of gravitation by Newton. So we have studied that Newton stated what is the gravitation, and he gives the much more information about gravitation. So according to this law, according to this theory, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a definite force, and this force is directly proportional to the product of masses of the 2 objects and is inversely proportional to the squares of the distance between them. Here we have to understand that the force of attraction between 2 objects present on the earth surface. Dear students, we know that about or around us we have various objects, and they are in the force of attraction. So what the Newton says, that one object and another object, both are attracted towards by the force of attraction. Next one, that is M1 and M2. Suppose M1 and M2, these are masses of 2 objects. D is the distance and force of attraction is denoted by F. Then the M1 and M2 are attracted towards the force of attraction. Therefore, he gives us one formula for this, that is force is directly proportional to the M1 into M2 divided by D square. For calculating force, we have the formula of F is equal to G M1 into M2 divided by D square. Okay, where G is the universal gravitational constant. So dear students, we have to understand this by keeping an example, that is when the force or when the masses are high in the weight, and we have to apply much more force to carry them. But when the masses or the objects are on the high level or on the table, then when we apply less force on height, that is distance t. Okay, it means it is inversely proportional. When we increase the distance, we will apply less force, and when we will decrease the distance, we will apply much more force. Okay, and in the directional proportional या फिर directly proportional, that is when the masses are increases in the weight, we have to apply much more force. So these are about Newton's universal law of gravitation. So we studied here today Kepler's second law, Kepler's third law, and Newton's universal law of gravitation. You have to keep in mind all these things. First law, ellipse orbit. Second law, time and area. Third law, relation between time and area with the cube and the square proportion. Next one, Newton's universal law of gravitation, that is the attraction force between two objects, and with the formula that is F is directly proportional with m1 into m2 upon d square, and for G constant we had to use formula F is equal to G into m1 into m2 upon d square. So students, today we will stop here and we will continue in our next chapter, next period and next topic. Allah Hafiz.